You are now listening to Sir Ink's The Experience Podcast, where we talk about anything and everything kink. Now, this podcast is only catered to those that are 18 and above and may not be suitable for work, or as we like to say, NSF. But remember, you can always listen to us during your private time. Hello, kinky and kinkiers folk out there. My name is Sir Ink. What's good? What's good? Let's jump right into it like we always do. Can you teach a man to be a dom? We talked about this before in another podcast about a year or two ago about can a man be taught to be a dominant? Now, I have two ways of thinking of this. Number one, I was introduced to the lifestyle by my first submissive, Nikki. And of course, you guys know if you listen to my content, I thought, oh, okay, whips and chains. It's the new chapter in our our relationship as we've come through some polyamorous groups and some things. So I'm like, okay, it's just the new thing, And then she's like, no. She's like, just understand this, and started putting me on to books and things of that nature. And what I realized is I already was a dominant man, assertive, boss, and things of that nature. But where she helped me realize, okay, yes, you're a dominant man, but think about expanding your dominant ways into this lifestyle. And look at the things in this lifestyle. So all it did was it took me as a assertive dominant man and opened up my palette of kink and sexuality. And when I mean open it up, and something like, oh, you mean open it up? Like, oh, you might be onto some gay stuff or whatever. No. Open it up in a way of how your domination comes across in sexual ways, in your sexuality, how you express your sexuality, your dominant sexuality in a session to a woman, to a sub, because we have a lot of female doms out there, so I don't want to exclude them. But it allowed me to express my dominant ways in a sexual way, in a very kinky way. So in that way, yes, I think that you can teach a dominant man, to be in a lifestyle and to be a dominant within the lifestyle. I do not think you can teach a man how to be dominant. That's just something that has to come natural to him. That's something that he has to be taught from childhood. That's something that he is taught from men in his life. It is something that can be learned, even if he didn't start out that way. But that's nothing that a woman can teach a man to be dominant. I don't think a grown man, as myself, can teach another grown man to be dominant. All of a sudden, he goes from being, a simp or just a regular guy, right? When I say a regular guy, like a guy that's very negotiable, a guy that believes that everything is 50-50, nothing wrong with that. But that's just not how dominant men think. So I believe that, you can teach a man to be dominant within the lifestyle if he's already a dominant man. All you're doing is increasing his sexual palette. You're opening up his dominant ways to kink and how to more dominate a woman. How to instruct a woman, how to be more thoughtful about a woman, how to protect a woman in more ways than just physically standing up for her. These are the things that happen when you open yourself up to the lifestyle of domination. When you as an assertive dominant man comes into the lifestyle, you start to learn that there's more ways to use your dominance that you never thought of. And again, too, I don't think that you can take a regular vanilla guy, a guy that believes in 50-50, a simp, or just a really nice guy. I don't think you can take them and put them into this lifestyle. Some of these guys that are nice guys are dominant men. Like they go out and earn. They're men to their women, but they're not necessarily dominant men. They're more negotiable. They're less teachers. They're less providers of mental instruction. They can provide money. They can provide a roof. They can provide physical protection, but they may not be the ones that actually are setting direction. A lot of guys in relationships just think the relationship should go the way the woman sees. Because a man, it can be very simple. His objective is to go to work, make things happen, and that way make sure the house is protected, everybody's protected. But when it comes to the actual trajectory of the relationship and the things that, will happen in the future, he has less input on, only because he's being dictated to and not doing a dictation. There are things that he may want, car, clothes, or, he may want to go somewhere, once or twice a year, something like that, or just have his boys' night out or whatever, however many times he needs that a month. But when it comes to the overall trajectory, a lot of men subjugate that responsibility to their spouse or to their woman or girlfriend, their lover. And so a dominant man within this lifestyle understands that a lot of the table and a lot of the direction is being set by you. It doesn't mean that the submissive doesn't have any input. She absolutely does. However, it's all under the guise and the guidance of that dominant male. And so, yes, you can take a dominant man that's not in the lifestyle, teach him about the lifestyle, and he can see where that fits into his life. Now, sexually, if he's like, let's say he's a dominant man, but he's a hardcore Christian, right? He'd be like, oh, that stuff is a little too much for me. That's fine. That's fine. It just opens you up to your sexual kinky side. And can you move your dominance in that? Some of it may resonate to some people, some of it may not. That's fine. Whatever your kink is, just do that. Or not. But to summarize this up, yes, I think you can introduce this lifestyle to a dominant, assertive man or dominant person, period, and it might resonate with them because they already naturally going to fit in certain things, and then it's going to open up their sexual palette and their palette of domination over someone else. And then two, you just can't teach a regular dude how to be a dominant. We are who we are. And by the time you turn 28 years old, most people are who they're going to be for the rest of their life. So you can have dominant traits and be a straight up simp. Guys can pretend to be dominant men and be straight flat out simps. You can tell by their behavior, but that's a whole nother story. And we'll get into that on another podcast. But until next time, peace. You know how to find me, Sir INQ, on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And you can always email me at sirinq09@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Until next time, peace.